And yes, I do have reams of foam around the place specifically for this purpose. Let's cut all of these into triangles. Again, plenty of tape because I want my stuff to stick together. Again, tape is a guide. That's sort of the point of it. But now this one, the intent is to make a triangle, and the easiest way to do that is just make it 90 degrees. And of course that sticks, so that sticks on there like that. So yeah, 2 should be enough. Of course the original drawing, the hammer was a bit bigger, but ultimately, for a joke, I'm not that worried. Now, you might think that the tape is going to make a right mess when it comes off, and you're right, it will. I'm probably going to have to use a hot air gun to get it off because of the glue. There you are, we've got one. Just put you over there just so you're a little bit out of the way. Now that first one was just to test the concept, that's why I stuck it together without checking any of the others. It's just to make sure it actually goes together in concept. Now, if I'm quick enough, I should theoretically be able to just pull the tape off. There you go. So the way that I'm planning to do it, I'm going to stick them together and then just pull off the tape like I just did. Like so. The last one should be done, and then I can just immediately start pulling the tape off the first one. That's number 2. It's also at this point that my really shoddy cutting becomes obvious. But it's okay, I will be hiding everything at the end. As I said earlier, it is all good practice to make mistakes. Because that way you get better. The other way to do this is to use contact adhesive and do it properly. But, I mean, from what you've seen so far, would I really work properly? I'm 100% a makeup as I go along person. Okay, that's one. That's number two. They're going together pretty well. Let's pull out an extra glue stick just in case, because I'm pretty close to the end of this one. This one's got a heck of a curve to it, but I don't care because, I mean, it's going to be curved around a surface in the end anyway. That's number one uncovered. Also, I chuck it all on the floor because I have an industrial hoover that's... Okay, I have like a household hoover that I improved to an industrial hoover. The main suction unit is still a household hoover, but I put some very large expansion chambers on it so that it could accommodate industrial use. Now if these don't go all the way around, you're going to see me correct another mistake. They don't. Now, that is much too high. Like, I am never going to use something like this. Like, yeah, corrugations this big are a bit ridiculous, to be fair. We just take a bit off. Now I try not to do this amount of work with scissors because, like, my thumb is dislocated there, and that's just how I use scissors. Which I know, loads of people would just be like, well, why don't you just use scissors properly? Well, it's just how I use them. There's a proper way. Yeah, we're pretty much double the size, so I'm not that worried. So like that size feels much more appropriate for what we're doing. Sorry. I know it's hard to see, but I mean, my bigger problem is the fact I have to get this all to fit on, and I've just worked out I've done it completely wrong. So I'm going to have to cut out like significant portions and stuff like that to make it work. Kind of how this works. I mean, my original idea was to cut circles, but the circles are like so big I'd waste so much foam doing it, and like, no, I ain't doing that. So now I'm just cutting the end of this at like a 45-degree angle across, so it'll just meet up happily with the surface of the hammer head that they're being attached to. So we just cut along. It's all good. Now I have to convince this somehow to go on a curved surface. It's fine. I have an idea of how to do it, but we'll see. My tape measured 25, which is here. And yeah, sorry for ruining the reputation of cosplayers as being like sophisticated and brilliant. Most of us are just mad. Okay, so you again need cutting off to 45 as well. That's fine. You just sort of cut like this. Go a little bit more, and I'm sure we'll use them on a later project because it's me. Come on. As you can see by my markings, a lot of it's just like random guesswork, and yeah. Like 99.9% of what I do is just guesswork. Also, you find that with a lot of things. it's one of the biggest lies you taught growing up is that adults know what the heck they're doing. We don't. None of us ever do. Now, to be fair, this could end up looking like an awesome Warhammer instead of looking like a harmless squeaky toy. Whoops. But really, it depends how much tension I can hide in the surface of this foam. So it's going to be slow going because I'm just running up a tangent. Okay, I breathed in something there. But yeah, I'm going to slowly run this round, and basically I'm just going to be putting all the compression and tension into this foam because it's really light and should be able to take it. And essentially this stuff is brilliant for making stuff that should be metal. Because it's basically formable like this. But of course, it doesn't like it, and when materials don't like it, you have to fight them. Swing Braid's going on. We've got one rep at least. Remember how I couldn't even get it, like, go even close when I tried this? Like, just squeezing it on, and now it's basically in place. Okay, and that needs to be held for a bit because it's got to take up the tension. Is that enough? Yeah, that's enough. Now, of course, we have to do the second ring because... Okay, we have to do the back now. Which is much easier because the front's holding it. So yeah, now that we've got the front down and that's holding the back down, it's become a lot easier to form, which is good. Now it is important with this stuff not to get it too hot because you will burn it. And burning foam is bad. I believe that is something we can all agree on. But yeah, now we've got this little split down here that I'm going to have to fill later. That is easy enough to do Okay, basically to fill it, you just cut 2 little triangles and cut it down to shape. Of course, between the ring of the first and the second, we do that. Of course, we just quickly get this bit stuck down. Now this one here is much less important to get down perfectly flat because it's covered by the first. So it's only the front and back that are really important to make them look good. Because after that, everything else is covered by the joints between them. Again, if people can't see it, it's not a problem. And you'll pretty much see this on every cosplayer's work, that the attitude is, if people can't see it, it's not a problem. Should I put in a third ring or not at that point? Because it's a little bit short of the goal. Well, I'll mock it up, see how it looks. I mean, I'm not making any modifications here that I wouldn't be making anyway, because I've got it sticking down on the other side, but... Yeah, but no. Yeah, okay. The more squeaky it is, the better, I guess. measure out to the centre. About 25, put a little mark there. Oops, just come around to here, tack that in. Measure it in. Yep, that glue gun's getting hot. Okay, so one side's down. Let's get the other one done, then we can go around to do the third layer. Because we've got two of the little ones in it. And freeze on the desk. And admittedly, I'm going to cut the next ones less wide, so it wastes less material, but I have plans for that bits that I've off-cut and thrown away. I can use them, it's fine. Probably not all of them on this project, but the center line is by here. Let's get that stuck. So get that stuck on like that. And you know it does actually squish. Okay, and this one's just a quick run around. Because again, it's on the inside, so it doesn't matter. Okay, it does matter, but it does matter because every seam that you make matters, but stick down that little bit at the end. Okay, and one rubber end to a mallet. Not remotely finished, of course. So I'm going to have to pull out so yeah, when I'm coughing and spluttering, I mute it mostly for 5 minutes. But I need to cut 6 more of these. But let's do a quick measurement first, what size they ended up as. Two and a half centimeters. You know, instead of the original 4, which is great. So we need 3 of, oh no, we need 4 of them, so it's 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10. 2, 5, 5, 7, 5, 10. 2, 5, 5, 7, 5, 10. Bad tape. May have gone off the end of the table there. It's okay, it's only my leg under there. It's not that bad. It is surprising the amount that even a small prop uses. I'm using more tape now than foam. It's getting embarrassing. So we just tape these, or we just glue these together quickly, and Let's see. This glue gun is 2015. I got it. And I've been using it ever since. It has done shockingly well. These heat setting on it is broken. The stand on it's gone. The little cover that stops you from burning yourself is gone. It has served me well, to the extent that I have 3 others that I bought. Same model, everything, just so that, you know, when that one dies, I can just go, ooh, I've got another one. I strongly doubt I'm getting to painting today, but actually no, I'm not getting to painting today, but I'm going to try to get this done because I would like to finish it. Almost got it all in one. Yeah, I know, I overuse tape, but it does make my seams work. It is the best way I've ever found to do it. Let's just cut down here, get this going. I cut these way oversized originally. I took a guess. I was wrong. But now I've just got to cut these so they all lay flat on the surface of the hammer, which I've put somewhere else in the smartest move I've ever done. Keep your belts on camera. It's rather high in the rule book, that one. But yeah, I've got to do the corrugations on the other end, so. So that's one. Again, when it comes to making things like this, it just turns into mass production. Which means that a production line would be useful, but there's only one of me, so. You just do the station, move on to the next one. Do that face, move on to the next one. And plus, like, 3 isn't actually mass production, it's just more than one. So we just cut slowly and calmly. Come on, stomach. Okay, and is that free? Oh yeah, okay, we are done. Good. Now if we put the tape out, get it to... We'll get the tape out, mark out 25 on each of them. So we have a centre point, just... Again, the centre point isn't that important. I just need somewhere to reference when I put it up on top like this. Okay, so we've decided where that's going. It's going to be like that. So we've now got a line across the top, which we're using to try to align these bottom bits in the end. As proved on the other end, it'll take the tension. It's fine. So let's slowly run our way around number one, because this first one will be the most obvious if something's gone wrong with it. So we want to go a lot slower than on the invisible ones. So like that. Sorry, like that. So I just put a little bit of fit down and then I can hold the entire seam with my hand. That way we can, you know, stop it looking like trash. Because as you saw with the others, I just like run it round in one big seam and just went like, yay, there you go. But no, not on something that's clearly visible. Also, the other mistake I made, because we're being honest with this edge here is awful. It's the original edge of the material, and it's not good, okay? It's not good for painting, it's not good for a surface, it shouldn't be shown at any time, you can't glue it properly, and I usually cut it and chuck it away. I forgot, because I haven't worked with this stuff in I don't know how long. When I saw it, I just thought, oh nuts, I put that thing on where I shouldn't have. But don't worry about that. Because I am on cover-up duty today. Don't forget, go slow. Start your projects long before the con and just go slowly. There's something I learnt in university after the first year. One of the things I actually did learn. When you've got a project with an actual deadline, if you do it as soon as possible, you can do whatever you want and not worry. It's like, oh no, am I going to be late? No, I handed in months ago. Because if you can do a project like the night before, like literally you can just do the entire thing the night before, then chuck it in a few hours. If you do that, it's like the first day. Then one, if there's any mistakes, you can correct them in the few months that you have to worry about it. And it just is a lot easier to do. Okay, and it's not perfect. This hasn't come out perfect because hot glue never does. But there's one. did genuinely come from watching everyone else struggle, and I did in the first year. And then I worked that out, and I was just like, you know what? Okay, so like you were here when I did this side, and you saw how slapdash the effort to make that look go on was. Like, I barely bothered. And it looks good-ish. That one's in a bit far. I'm gonna have to make a correction. There you go. That's better. I moved it a little bit further away because I could. Oh, that didn't stick originally. Oops. I'll have to go back and correct that. And of course, it stops all the glue coming out. Oh, having the tape there. 2 hours. Don't forget to drink. If you're wondering why that sounds so sarcastic, it's aimed at me. That side's now going down. I made the same boo-boo over here, trying to make it too close. I have to give it enough space to be able to, you know, actually take up the tension that I'm forcing on it. Which is quite a bit, to be fair. So, there you go. And I've come up with another idea as well to hide this a little better. So you'll be seeing that in a minute. As I said earlier, the main thing about crafting is basically how to make up for the mistakes. Also, when you're being examined, that's one of the big things they look for as well. It's like, if you did come into a problem, how did you deal with it? It's like, I encountered no problems, nothing went wrong, it was perfect. And they'll be like, yeah, lies. And they're probably right, because things very rarely just go perfect. again, even with like the world's most successful projects, they all end up with huge setbacks going on throughout the whole thing. It's like every project has setbacks. And ultimately, it's the skill of dealing with them that's important. Also, I know it's difficult, but it's always important to ask for help if you get stuck, because someone will know a solution to what you're doing. So, hello Adiru. Welcome in. Got an extensive crafting build going on. It's a small hammer. I'm okay. How are you doing? I need no glue stick. That's good. I've been trying to get to crafting for the back to crafting for the last few years. Various problems have sort of popped up, so it's really good to be doing this again now. I have missed just building random stuff for fun. Yeah. Myself untangled. Yeah, like next time I'm going to be mad because the amount of problems I've had for me. It's like there's so much wrong with this. Also, do note, this thing weighs nothing. It is so ridiculously light. Yeah, there you go. May have been cut a little long, I guess. But, I mean, that's fixable. Yeah, I just accept that future me is going to be mad at current me. Quite rightfully so. I mean, I am leaving big problems for it. stick. Okay, stop, calm down. Slow and steady doesn't always win the race, but it does get the faint belts, and that's what we want around here. Just keep going around, gets little bits in. And now it's completely covered in spider webs, because that's what happens when you use hot glue. But got a little bit of a squeaky mouth going on. So I'm going to clean that up next time, because that is a mess. Is that big enough for one hand? Yes, because I can do it more than once. So now I'm just going to make a butt for this. Or a little handle. So what I'm doing, I'm just wrapping it around like that. Doing little cuts here where it's kind of where I can attach it. And then just cut upwards. And we've pretty much it fits. And we've got enough for 2 of them, so we're good. And of course, a bit of tape, because when have I not used tape? And of course, we're going to make a second one, because that first one is probably going to be a bit short, and we'll be okay. Okay, so we're just cutting a tiny bit off the end, like that, a little sliver. Let's start taking that off, because it either will have stuck or failed by now. It appears to have failed. That's fine. So grab this. Sort of twist it loose a little. And yes, we shouldn't be using butt plugs because they're not very good, but on it, let that dry a bit. They've stuck together, because of course they have. But now we should have a cylinder the size of this as a grip. Yep, this one. Give that a little bit longer to dry, but we don't need one that's like that thickness. Again, proper. Oh, that is tempting. Like, just make it a two-hander. Smack. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that instead because that just looks like it works. So we've got one up the top, one at the bottom, and then you can use it as a one-hander and hands and a half, basically. I like it. Okay, do I have a little section? I don't care. Yeah, I've loads of it. So now we just put a circle of glue on the bottom of this. Sorry. And stick. Here you go. Because that makes, or that will make a solid end for it, instead of it being a hollow pipe. Okay, let's do that again, because this one here is torn apart. It was dry when I put the glue on, so okay, so now we can get off that bottom bit. But yeah, I am leaving all of the cleanup work for next week because there's quite a bit of it on here. I mean, this thing's starting to look dangerous, and it is not supposed to. I may have done too good of a job. But this is where we start to go with all of the excess bits. So first off, I'm going to run one of these. Just find two nice-ish ones and just run them around like that. I think, to give it an edge. So untangle me. Oops, down there. Start. Then flop round. Now the seam can just be a butt joint because it never has to take any tension, it just has to exist. Like that. And again, little bits of detail like that don't feel important, but they add so much in the long run. They're making it look slightly less toyish. People's eyes are drawn to flat surface, like just flat stuff, but there's no detail. It's just like, oh, it doesn't look as good, and They can never really tell you why, but it just doesn't. It's, yeah, just add more detail. No, it definitely is not. This is Evie's banner hammer. In the event she has to ban someone. Wow, that sounds dangerous. I mean, look, when I design characters, I always give them a weapon, and I give them something appropriate to what they do. And, well, my VTuber's a streamer, so she has a ban hammer for banning. So it's a nice hammer. Yeah, it looks a lot more dangerous than it is. 'Cause, I mean, it is completely hollow and has no real strength to it, which is good, because you wouldn't want it to have real strength. Okay, so I'm going to do basically some grip type stuff on here, just because that looks really smooth and flat, and I'm just going to add some ribbing to it to make it look better. Okay, so do it like this. It's stuck. So yeah, don't worry about not being perfect, it's fine. Okay, and just run that round. Okay, and this stuff's just detailing. It's just there to make it look not flat. Can that actually go around? Yes, it can, just. Sweet. So, basically, for comparison, in just the appearance, you've got the bottom one where it's ribbed versus the top, and the bottom just looks better. And well, yeah, that's one of the important things of crafting. More detail equals good. Of course, there is a line like where you pass where you've got too much detail and how it just looks too busy, but this is nowhere near that yet. So, and pop. Okay, we just grab this and do the next one. Use this, make the distance, and twist around. Once around to the other side, cut it off. And squeeze together. Add a little bit of glue, squeeze together. But yeah, once I've got this last bit on, I'm finishing for the day because let's do it. Actually, no, we'll do 4 on the bottom, 3 on top. That'll be okay. Actually, no, if I cut that bit, it'll work even better. Thank you. It's nice to have people say my work's good. Okay, so we just cut this little bit off here because just be careful to avoid cutting yourself and pay attention to the blade because much like glue gun equals hot, knife is sharp. Okay, like theoretically knife is sharp, right? Blunt it down over time. But yeah, you are a 1.5 small hammer. And it actually fits pretty right across the shoulders too. So next time, what I have to deal with, right. Part 1, this little corrections to do around the handle where I've messed little bits up. Up here I have to fill in all of these gaps, which I can do easily enough. And then probably tack. Okay. That's about the right place. So you get to two-hand it. Boop. And yes. So that is my hammer. So yeah, hopefully I'll be doing this next Sunday because I'm trying to make this a regular thing. Thanks for coming, and hopefully see you next time. Also, the 3 AM show is still going, and Crisis Core if you care to see me play video games. So, okay, Bye.